So, I wanted to do some content for YouTube. Well, this is the sub-only coaching stream, but I want to do some content for YouTube on the fact that, one, I made masters with I don't know what I wound up with on a win rate. It's nothing impressive, really. But what had happened was I initially started this as a TF grind, and then I ran into a guy who was smurfing. I think people on YouTube saw a video where I was like, I saw a guy smurfing with Tryndamere, and he had really good results with Tryndamere. And then I started doing my research, and I saw multiple people. I mean, someone like Fogg's always done really well with Tryndamere, playing it. I wasn't in love with the playstyle about a year ago. It was around the time that I stopped playing and went over to Fortnite for a while. When I came back, I noticed that Tryndamere was actually popping off more and more in high elo, so I decided to play that. So I started off with TF. I still play TF a lot. And then I started playing Tryndamere more because I had fun with him, found a playstyle that I liked. A lot of the games that are played in this win rate, the 59%, a lot of that actually is just me playing Tryndamere past Diamond, which I made like Diamond 3 or 2, and then I noticed people were playing Tryndamere more, and I was like, oh, he's actually good again, so I'm gonna play him. Yeah, Adrian's here, and he's just like, yeah, Tryndamere's really good right now. And yeah, so I just started playing him again, and I was having fun with him. I was having good results with him. So I wanted to go over a coaching, one of the games that I played. We could go over runes for this match. I think this is a Rise matchup here. I'm showing this gameplay. This gameplay is a 10-0 game. I'm not showing this game to brag, really. I mean, it's a braggable game, but really what I'm trying to show with this is more like what a lot of people fail to do with split pusher champs or Tryndamere in general. A lot of people have a tendency to just die and trade. And sometimes there's games where that's unavoidable, but my goal here is to kind of go over how to mitigate that, how to die less, basically. And this guy is a master player. Not that he plays spectacular in this game, but it just shows that he has the capability to carry if you fuck up. So here are the runes. I always give credit when I pick up stuff from different players. This was Fogg's idea, really. The fleet footwork into range matchups. I started doing that more. I either go fleet footwork or lethal tempo, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. Fleet footwork will give you more sustain. If you go second wind, you go magic resist, you go revitalize, and you can go Doran's shield or Doran's blade. I think Doran's blade is fine. Doran's blade, I think, is better when you actually do decide to go on somebody with ghost. We're obviously taking flash ghost. This is how we're able to survive poke lanes. Any lane you feel like you're gonna get poked a lot, you can go that page, okay? Let's skip ahead. I don't think anything too crazy happens on this invade. Let me go over this real quick. So, I want to show you something that you can do in your games. I fucked this up, but you're gonna see what I try to do, so you guys can understand. Like, if you're trying to carry games, I botched this, by the way, but you're gonna literally see me try it. So when they go in, watch me. I literally don't. I was gonna try to auto and spin at the same time and try to get this kill. Watch. You'll see me do it. I didn't time it well because we just kind of popped him, but I was literally standing on the guy so that I could auto and then spin so that I could get the first blood, okay? That was the goal there. For people that are like, why didn't you do anything? Obviously you run the risk of not getting the assist credit at all. I mean, to avoid this, you could just auto him once and then try to last hit or whatever, but yeah, you get the idea. We're trying to get the first blood because we, like, even in higher elo, like, I always want the kills. I'll always, like, I don't share the kills. I'll take every single kill. I don't care. I just think it's, I mean, I would rather the game be in my hands and then have me fuck it up than somebody else fuck it up. And I mean, I make mistakes and I fuck up leads all the time, but like, that's the logic. Always trust yourself of a team. Yeah, exactly. So all we're really doing in this matchup is we are trying to mitigate auto attack and free harass. And when we do decide to take that harass, we are trading aggressively. So this, I immediately ghost. A lot of people don't do this on Tryndamere, but level 1 ghost versus range matchups is pretty good, especially, let me pull up. Level 1 ghost versus range matchups is actually not that bad. You're pretty much always going to get their flash or push them out of lane. And you're gonna allow yourself to free farm for a while. Joel, thanks for the prime. So here, I auto and ghost, and you see we get his flash right away. Now that we're trading ghost for flash, a ghost is on a 3-minute cooldown, flash is on a 5-minute cooldown. So anytime that someone is trying to bully you with like range shit early, unless they're running ignite. And unless they're running ignite, I pretty much always just ghost and I run them over. Adrian, thanks for the sub, man. I just try to run them over right away. I don't fuck around with trying to like just get poked down or whatever. If I have a choice, I'm just gonna ghost right away. Yeah, keys in the chat for the new subs. What this is gonna do is it's gonna give you. Right now, he has no flash. It's gonna give you an opportunity to find a kill if he gets too out of line. This is bad by me. You really only want to E, like if you E through a wave like this, you really want to hit the guy. Like if you're gonna E into range, like on level 2, that's fine, but you only really want to hit him and auto him. Because otherwise what happens if you E forward like this and miss, this Ryze is better. He could land some autos and fuck with me a little bit harder than he does here. That's kind of just as a good rule of thumb when you're facing range what you want to be doing. You only really want to go, like, you only really want to commit to a trade if your E actually hits. Swerble, thanks for 9 months, man. So here, I'm just trying to push and get the wave out of my way. I think I might reset here. No, I don't. I let it push back. I just sustain up, I think. Ryze is a really, like, in terms of matchups that I rate, like, the hardest, like, some of the hardest matchups, I feel like Ryze is one of those champions. At least all the champions that I tend to play, Ryze does really well against. So, like, GP, Twisted Fate, Tryndamere, right now, Ryze is just... But the good thing about this replay, guys, is a lot of you will never face a Ryze that will harass you or even really be able to put much pressure on you in lower elo. They'll normally just fuck up their combo and miss some stuff or whatever. So you won't have to worry about this too much. But if you're in a situation where you're getting poked down, all you really want to do with the rune setup is just what I'm doing here. Just chill. Just chill. Spam Q when it's off cooldown. Like that right there. You literally just avoid free damage. That's all you can do. Wave pushes back to us. Notice how we're not, like, we very rarely give free damage away. This is debatable. He doesn't really go for a combo there, but we're just trying to auto and take both minions. We missed the second one with our E. Now, Ryze has no flash, so all we do here is we just get his combo out of the way. We're spinning into minions because we know Ryze can't one-shot us here. And with Lee showing up, we have flash too, right? The only way we lose this is if Kayn is doing some, like, really cheeky lane gank. But we have all the information we need. And we should be able to pop Ryze quick enough, right? So that's why I'm playing it so aggro. Is I don't really think that I'm ever... You know what I mean? I don't think I'm ever dying there. So here, I make the decision to back. Well, actually, no. I just touched the brush. I realize that the lane's pushing out, so I'm like, I don't really want to just back here. It seems really questionable. So I wait a little bit until I feel like Ryze is moving forward out of base, and then I decide to start pushing. So he makes the choice to TP forward. It's not a bad move to do. If you're... Okay. I want to show you a little advanced trick you can do. And this is for some of the better top laners too, even could get an idea from this. So say you're in a situation where a laner wants to TP back to wave. If you're not pushing the wave and it's pushing to them, they won't TP. Right? So if the wave is coming to Ryze, he's not TPing. Notice? If I wanted to be really cheeky and like really slick about this, I could actually accumulate a slight XP lead. I would lose some gold, but I could accumulate XP lead just by sitting in this brush for a little bit and basically getting the XP and then pushing it the last second when Ryze is showing up. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Because the minute that I pop out of the brush, thanks Little Big Head, by the way, for 14 months. Notice as soon as I pop out of the brush, he blocks the push. So if I wanted, I could wait 5-10 seconds longer, then start shoving because he wouldn't TP at that point. It would be a waste. It's just kind of an interesting idea when you're in a situation where the player that you're facing, like both of you understand wave management. Because a lot of people won't do weird shit like that. Now, our goal is to try to get the wave pushed in if we can. I don't think we can versus Ryze here. I don't think it's possible. I think, depending on skill of the player, we're kind of... Yeah, I didn't spin through the range creeps for this reason. Because I was kind of afraid that he can lethal us. I don't really know Ryze's damage completely. But he does actually let us get a shove in. And I just decide to back. Also, in general, Ryze doesn't like freeze from what I've seen. So we back. I always go Tiamat now. So before, like, well, let me see. Earlier last week, I wasn't going Tiamat every matchup. I went over TF Blade's OP.GG and I noticed all the champions he plays. Jax, Aurelia, Tryndamere. He's now started playing Tryndamere occasionally. He goes Tiamat every single time. Knowing that, I started thinking about why he goes Tiamat. And if you guys remember, in the past, I have told coaching clients that they need to go Tiamat every single game if they're playing Tryndamere. Every single game. I thought maybe I was misguided in that until I started researching top laners a bit more. For example, Fog sometimes doesn't go Tiamat. I don't know if he goes Tiamat very often. He doesn't like to go Tiamat. He's kind of an exception to the rule. Most cases, I'm going to recommend going Tiamat. And I go Tiamat pretty much every single game now. The reason why is because a lot of the way that I play this game when I play Tryndamere anyways is I tend to proxy a lot. If lanes don't interact with me, I'll go behind the tower a lot. I'll take jungle camps a lot. Tiamat helps with that. I often try to do 2v1s and stuff because I like to think that I'm mechanically good enough to pull them off. Tiamat helps with that a lot. Dueling, Tiamat helps a lot with that. Sustain, Tiamat helps a lot with that. The only thing that Tiamat will lose you, and you can choose to not go it if you want to fix this, is you can't freeze. I mean, you can kind of freeze. It turns into more of a slow push unless the minions line up perfectly and you play it absolutely perfectly with your spins and your Tiamat range. But for the most part, that's what you're losing. You're losing the ability to freeze. Now, Christmas, 68 months. Now, if you're thinking about it, and you're like, I think I can freeze on this guy and just use Ghost. Anytime they get too close to the wave, I can just Ghost and all in them. Then don't go Tiamat. And then just freeze the wave and then you can get like huge CS lead. You can do that if you want. See, this is me like right now because I don't have Tiamat. This is me basically freezing, right? Or slow pushing. Now with Tiamat, every time you auto, obviously you're pushing everything. So it doesn't work out that way. But here I'm going to bait. I think I misplay this. So this is actually a good lesson for myself and just for anybody watching, right? Like, watch what I try to do. I try to ghost after the W, which is really fucking stupid because watch what Ryze is going to do. Storm Raider Surge and a big root, right? We don't catch him. Now, that's why I say it's a good lesson point, because when he comes back, his Storm Raider Surge is still on cooldown. And he still gets close. So the lesson here is, although I played the Ghost bad and I have to waste Flash because of it, if you notice, if I had just played that the same exact way that I just did, except instead of ghosting on the first trade, I ghost on the second trade, we get the kill with only using one summoner. Now we had to use both to get this kill. I flashed there because even though he's out of lane, there's going to be a plant here. There's going to be junglers here a lot. We don't know. Like, we don't know what's going on past this fog. The other thing is, if he gets around, it's hard to dive a ranged champion like Ryze without getting yourself rooted under tower. So yeah, we're going to flash for that every time. Next little tip for the Tryndamere wannabes. I mean, just for any player in general. Goal of League of Legends is to see people making mistakes or try to pressure people into making mistakes and then kill them. I don't think I kill Kayn here, but I'm going to show you guys how you can look to find, like, we get the Ryze kill, but we still have our ult up. And we still have we still have a level lead over this Kayn, right? And he's not 6 yet. So this is where you get into layering, right? Huge waves coming under tower. What's Kayn going to do? Well, Kayn, if he has flash, he's pretty hard to kill since we don't have our flash. But we can pressure, right? We're pressuring him into making a mistake. So I want you to see what we do. So we walk forward. We're going to be trying to get him to trade into minions. We're going to try to get him to auto us. And then once he autos us, we're going to auto him and spin. And we're going to constantly be trying to bait him into taking a fight that he cannot win. Because that's what pressuring is. We want him to ult. We want him to overcommit. We want him to do things that he cannot get away with. So here's a perfect example. We're pushing. We know that he sees us pushing again and that he can re-engage, but we don't care. So we're just baiting him constantly. See this? We're baiting Ryze into thinking that he can kill us. He can't. We're baiting Kayn into thinking that he can kill us. He can't. But we know that he can't kill us. Why? Because we're a level ahead. It's a weak early game, or it's a weak jungler, Kayn, early. Ryze has nothing yet, and he's only level 5. So we know that, you know, while we can't just hard fight them 2v1 because they'll kind of kite us around, we can get them to waste their time, right? Kayn's up here, Ryze up here, blowing flash like a Nimrod. This is good for us. And this is the type of pressure that you need to put on. We get a T-Mat. Come back to lane. Notice how we're not just like full send diving. Instead, we're poking. Difference between good top laners and bad top laners, right? So here, we're thinking about diving him. What are the chances? Auto, Tiamat auto, spin. We're allowed to get away with that much. And then we're allowed to sustain back up. We don't land chickens. But we're taking these trades. We're trading a little bit of our health because we can sustain a lot of it back. Ryze, if you notice, has no sustain left. We can see that. This dive is a little messy, but we know that he dies to minions. We ghost away when we see Kayn coming. We figure out he doesn't have ult because we know he would have pressed it already. And then we're trying to bait him into Lee Sin. I remember being annoyed with Lee Sin for not collapsing faster in that spot. We know he doesn't have ult there because he would have used it already, but I don't even know if he would have killed us with ult, to be honest. I think we might have lived. Lee Sin ganks the Rise again. None of this has been too sketchy except for that dive just now. It's all been pretty easy. Rise wants to kill himself here. Good little lesson to top laners. Is like, once you're, you know, this is the risk you run playing champions like Rise top. Rise tops, Kennen tops, to even like Teemo tops. Any champion that's squishy, if you fail to get through the lane phase, kiting and keeping your XP up, this is what happens. Especially higher elo. This won't really happen to you in like lower elo. You can play Rise top every game in low elo and never have to deal with a dive like this. It just won't happen very often. But since we know Rise TPs, we stay in the brush with our control ward. We wait for Lee Sin gank. Same thing as before, looking to apply pressure. We know that we have our ult up. We have Lee Sin right there. All we're doing, when you're getting ready to do a dive, guys, the way you execute these and don't fuck them up is you think about what you have, what they have, what your teammates have, and how you're going to do this, okay? So I want you to see. All we do here, we start breaking the tower. That seems guaranteed. We go ahead and call Kayn a chicken. We wait for the last second to ult. With the tower shot. And then we're going to go ahead and get the kill. Right? Nice and easy. New champ shows up. We don't know what she does. We're going to wait for her cooldowns. Looks like she used them all. And there you go. All of this all stems on like whether or not you're like layering, right? Like whether or not you're thinking about how a fight's going to play out before. When we start that dive, we know that Kayn's going to ult. We know that we want to tank the tower. If you go back. First things first, we know Rise is likely to TP. Duck into the tribe rush and see if Lee Sin wants to dive. We don't have to ult, so we keep it. Kayn. We auto him first, initiating the dive. Spin away from tower. Ult. Combo off of that. Very easy. Sorry, I didn't mean to backspace there. Kill the new champ. Go in the Essence Reaver build, which is pretty standard now, even with the nerf to Essence Reaver costs. Now, we could potentially dive Rise here, but here's the thing. And this is what I wanted to talk about with this replay on, you know, keeping your def slow or whatever. It's really, and I think we all are guilty of being lazy with giant leads. It's really the right play is to not take a risk, like an unnecessary risk when you're this fed. To basically play off the back of your summoner spells, your ghost and your flash and your ult and all that, and take the guaranteed things. In this case, the guaranteed things are camps. We have Tiamat. This build, we're fed, which we could take everything quickly. Here, want you to see this rotation. Rise is stuck under tower, yes. We know that we can dive him if we really need to. If we really feel like we have to try to dive him to get pressure on the map and just to help our teammates, we'll dive him. In this case, our team is fighting in bottom. And we have Rift. I see Cho'Gath teleport. Now, the plates are still up on the map. There's going to be a big fight. I'm assuming, I pretty much always assume that my teammates are going to lose. Like, that's how I play this game. If my teammates are winning, then I'm pleasantly surprised, and then the game's super easy. So what we do here is we're going to Rift, and we're going to take these plates for free. Take all of them. We collapse on Lux. because we know that if we stay here, we're going to get collapsed on by the remainder of the enemy team. They're eventually going to show up. I wasn't entirely sure where everyone was at on the enemy team. I thought one of them was coming around to flank me, and I just don't want to risk giving my shutdown away for free. So we go bottom, where it's more likely to be safe. Call Lux a chicken. Lux doesn't understand how Tryndamere works, so she flashes trying to get the execute, but she's actually just throwing a summoner away. So we called her a chicken. That gives us the kill. I don't know if you guys know that. Even if you don't land the slow, it gives us the kill. Another situation where you could easily throw your lead away. I am going to ghost in. I know that there's 2 topside. I just saw it. So I know it's just Vayne. So I ghost forward, trying to kill the Vayne. She flashes. Now, yes, we could dive like maniacs, but now we see their mid is rotating right away. So we go right back to tower. If we go for this dive, yes, we'll kill the Vayne, and yes, we'll lose our flash. But we probably are not going to get out. And we're going to just give a shutdown away. And we're going to give a lot of XP away. So we do the maximum that we can. We help defend our AD carry. We use our ult, which is a lot lower cooldown than our flash, right? And then we help Lee Sin. Come from base and help Lee Sin. He pulls off a dive. And at this point, we're just trying to get rid of the bot tower. This is just mechanical ability to know that we're not going to die there. I mean, that's really all there is to that. I didn't use flash or anything. I didn't have ult up when I was fucking with them, but I just know that we're not going to die there. Off of experience. We get bot tower. People go crazy for Lee Sin. Pressure Vayne. Here's another good example of finding a mistake, right? Okay, how many people on the enemy team are dead? 3. Right? 3 people on the enemy team are dead. Okay, knowing that, it's just Vayne and this mid lane that just spawned. So we're going to go for the quick auto. I misplay my ult a little bit, but that's okay. We get out and we're going to reset and go top. If I can get out. They keep inting into us. But I really want to reset here. Good rule of thumb, if Dragon is going to spawn, you should be topside. I mean, Baron's up. I could technically be bot here. But I think at this point, this game is such a wash that we're just kind of pushing, trying to knock down towers. We ghost here.
Oh, a happy little cracker.
And that's pretty much it on this replay, I believe. I think we go to get Baron and end the game. So, there's nothing fancy happening there. Really. It's all just decisive use of ghosts and dives and knowing when to go aggressive. Like, there really isn't there's no fancy play in this entire replay. I don't think there's any like crazy skill shot dodge that happens or I mean, really, there's nothing. There's nothing. It's just decision making and macro. I was doing some research on Tryndamere, and thanks Darkness for the sub. I was doing some research on Tryndamere, and one of the things I noticed was he's not a very popular champion. He's not very, like, based on the fact that I get more views on YouTube and Twitch when I play Tryndamere, I was thinking, oh, for some reason in my head, I thought he was a popular champion. But he's not. He's one of the less popular champions. One of the things I've noticed about him is even though his skill set is super simple, ABC, a lot of people suck with him. And it's because he's macro dependent. He is heavily, like, the skill is directly related to how much macro you have. Macro in terms of when can I dive, when can I not, when can I split, when can I not, like when should I fight, when should I not, like team fight. How should I layer these summoners? One thing I see with a lot of Tryndamere is like you've seen these dives where I'll keep ults. Yes, diving is micro, Riddle. Diving is micro, like the mechanical, like I'm gonna auto him and then ult at the last second and then track him down. That is micro, but the decision to dive, the decision to split, the decision, not how you play them mechanically. That's my point. If you notice in this replay, there's no insane. I fuck up. Like I go, remember at this point here, I like ghost for the rise, and then he just kind of Storm Raider surge and runs backwards, or whatever it's called now, phase rush, right? And I just wasted ghost. I mean, that's noob shit. That's noob shit, right? But most of all the other decisions in this replay weren't that bad, really. And if you can understand that Tryndamere at his core is a macro champion and that it's all based on your ability to make good decisions and good aggressive choices, then you're going to be rocking with him. And I think that's a big reason he's not popular, is because a lot of people just kind of int on him and then are confused why they int, because they make a bad dive or they make a bad trade or they make a bad this or that. He's a decision-making champion, even though he's very simple. It takes a lot of the right choices to play him. You have to be confident in your choices, which a lot of people aren't. So, anyways, that's my rundown on this matchup. I'm gonna post this one to YouTube, and I don't know how many of these like subscriber only coaching streams I'm going to be doing, but this is one of those videos for that. So if you like this, subscribe on YouTube and go to Twitch and subscribe like Scrig here. Thanks for the sub, man. Where's my... God, I hate my alerts aren't working half the time. It's really tilting. Anyways, I see you, Scrig. Thanks, man. Thanks to all the people that sub. Let's go to this. Guys, YouTube, this will be on the channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Twitch.tv/Neace. Come sub if you want to see more coaching like this. And if you want to get coached. So there you go. And I think I'm going to be doing some occasional coaching giveaways to subs on the sub-only streams too. So there you go. All right, cool. Peace. Crackers. Peace.